Welcome to the Round 13 podcast for this week. Joining me this week is the Discord bully, Eno. Brian. How are you, mate?
Hang on. Well, we didn't agree with that.
Yeah, well, been running your mouth a bit in the Discord lately, and that's your new name for now.
All right, fair enough. I'll take.
We'll just go with Eno. People calling you idol as well over there, but I won't be calling you that. Not feeding your ego.
That's just slang. I'm good, mate.
Anyway, how'd you go this week?
This week I scored 1984. Had the 19 playing, so luckily didn't have to take Big Corbo's 10.
Yeah.
And pretty much just held rank at 600 mark, so rank 607th at the moment. How about you?
Yeah, not great. Scored 1804 and ranked the worst I've been ranked all year, I think, since about round 1 or 2. So ranked 3,431, but should be better this week. So yeah, very glad last week was over, and should be much better this week. So have you nearly finished your team?
I've got this week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 primos missing, so not the greatest. But when they come back on, I've got 3 spots to go. So we'll be getting rid of Dersma, Walsh, and then Baker. After the next week, and then let's just have that last upgrade spot, which will be Hall. But I'll be holding him over this week. How about you?
Yeah, we'll speak about Hoare, whether to hold him or not, in a second, but I think I just have the 2 upgrades to go. So I need to get Jake Lloyd in and another defender, but I'm not sure who yet. So we'll wait and see on that. You have 8 primos out. That's a lot. You're going to cop it this week, I reckon.
Yeah, not great, but we'll see. It's not too bad, but depends on selections and everything.
I need to make up some ground on you, so hopefully this is the round for me.
Yeah, we'll see.
So for this podcast, we've gotten a lot of questions, so it's basically going to be a Q&A podcast. And I think we've got about 25 questions to get through. Half of them have been, who do I get out of Sicily and Ryan, and what do we do with Smith and Hoare? So we'll address those 2 first. So Sicily versus Ryan, I believe about a 30k difference between those 2. Sicily averaging about 100, Ryan 104.
Yeah, so I don't know if you had a look at the scores closely, but Sicily's a lot more consistent. Like he has, I think, 6 tons, a lot of 90s plus scores. I know he's averaging 5 less, but over that's about 50 points less than Ryan for the season. Whereas Ryan has like only 4 tons, but when he tons up, they're like, it's 140. Like just, he pigs out. So he can throw in those 70s, 80s. Just depends what you prefer. I'm different I got Sicily last week and I'm getting Ryan this week. So I'm going to have both anyway. But if I didn't have either and I was going to go one this week, I'd probably go Sicily.
Is that based on price? Or?
Yeah, probably 80% price and then like 20% what I was just talking about, the scoring wise. Like he's just more consistent around the ton mark.
Okay, so you have the money in.
Okay.
Just say you have the money. Who do you go for? And they're both exactly the same price.
That makes it a little bit more difficult. But
same price. Surely you go Ryan.
Yeah, I'm thinking. Yeah, I'll say Ryan. If you say that, it's close. As I said, I'm gonna have both. So, yeah.
For me, I'm going for Sicily. I prefer Ryan. It's just for price is the issue for me. My cover isn't going to be very strong. It's going to be Noah Answorth and Naish.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about either of their job security in the long term. So my issue is Sicily. He's been okay this year with suspensions, but we know he's due to get suspended.
Yeah.
So it's that sort of risk is annoying me a little bit. But other than that, I think I'm just going to take that. It's not a huge risk, but I'm going to have to live with that.
I back him in with it. Like I know he had that mishap the other week, but I'm pretty sure he's been working on it for ages. Like it's not, past years he's had like 5 incidents throughout the year, whereas this year he's just had the one. Like, he's not kneeing blokes in the head anymore or, any of that. So, I don't know. I'm willing to take the risk.
There's not much in it between either of them, so I don't think you're going to lose out too much if you go one way or the other.
And I think Frico tweeted today that they both have like 140s against who they're playing this week from last year. So
yeah, I read that. I was just thinking. So Sicily plays Essendon.
Yeah.
So Dylan Shield is going to give him 20 intercept marks, and then Ryan plays Port, and Boak is going to give him 20 intercept marks. So it will be an interesting match with those two, but
yeah,
Ryan's probably more likely to go big. So
yeah, I can see that.
But yeah, price is the most important thing for me. So Sicily for me,
Yep.
But all else, if they were equal, I'd go for Ryan. Simple as that.
Yep.
And you have both, so not an issue for you.
Yeah.
So that's Sicily and Ryan. Now the next two we can speak about is Smith and Marty Hoare. Yeah. So Brodie Smith, 5-round average of 75. That's not good. That's not what we want. And Marty Hoare, 5-round average of 95. So there's a few things to consider. There are a few factors here that have affected their scoring, I believe. Well, for Brodie Smith. So I watch Brodie Smith really closely. I'm a Crow supporter. And since Luke Brown's come back into the team, his scoring has gone basically pretty terrible. Less kick-ins, and he's also getting a bit of attention. Earlier in the year, Rory Laird was getting the tag.
Yeah.
But this time, Smith has been tagged by Port and by GWS. I think it was Isaac Cummings tagged him last week. So this is an issue. And Smith's history as a premium, he was barely a premium 1 year when he was All-Australian in 2014. So he's not really a premium. We thought with the kick-ins he could maybe just scrape as a D6. But it doesn't look likely anymore. So So if you had to hold Smith or Hoare, who would you rather hold?
Well, initially I was having to trade Hoare because of just the trying to field 18 this week, and I didn't want to really field 17 and that sort of dilemma. But that was meaning that I was going to hold Answorth because he hasn't made a heap of money, still got a fairly low break even. So I thought it'd be premature if I went him, but I just thought, why not trade him? Like, he's not going to be in my long-term plans. It does mean I only use 2 trades this week, 1 up, 1 down, which I'm okay with. A lot of people are probably going 2 up, but I prefer to sit on the bench with Lloyd this week, play Smith 1 more week, and then next week, if I want to flip him, I can. Because I just, like you said, his scoring has not been great of late. Hasn't turned up for like almost 2 months. So, yeah. And Hall looked good with main lever back in as well. We had to watch that, and he still did what he did all year.
Yep. So with Brodie Smith, he plays Richmond this week. I think Richmond are conceding that game. They have a few injuries, but
he'll probably score well. And then we'll be like, shit,
probably.
And
then he has the bye. Then he plays Geelong. Geelong is his bogey team. He never plays well versus Geelong, ever. So he's probably not going to score much that game. So if I had him, I would actually bench him in round 15 against Geelong. But after that, he has a stretch of I think it's Gold Coast, Carlton, St Kilda, Port. Pretty nice run. So I don't mind if you're really struggling for money, you don't have a D6. It's a really difficult situation, I think. But because of Luke Brown, the evidence is there with Luke Brown in the team. Smith, I think he has to go.
Yep.
And I wouldn't be trading him this week. I would be holding him this week. Some people, they plan to trade Hoare this week, but now instead they want to trade Smith instead.
You need the players, yeah.
Yeah, so... And then there's a dilemma, for some people, if they're trading Hoare this week, they get an extra player, which is an even bigger headache.
Yeah, that was initially my headache, but...
So this is what I'm thinking. I'm going to hold Hoare as D6 for the rest of the year. Now, obviously, it's not ideal, but I think without that first game, he's averaging 92 or 93. So I think that's acceptable for a D6. Whether he continues to do that, I don't know, but I'm just going bank on it anyway. So if you're trading Hoare this week, you have to trade Smith eventually as well, I think, because Smith's scoring is unacceptable. So if you want, I think you can keep Hoare as a D6, but with Smith, you have to trade. You can hold him this week, but you have to trade him eventually.
Yeah.
So that's what we think about Smith and Hoare. So yeah, a bit of a dilemma, but yeah, don't think Smith's scoring is good enough.
No, and my plan also with Hoare is that, keep him at D6, and if he's, falling off his scoring or something's going on with his role or whatever happens, if Whitfield's back in a month, then once he drops a bit, you might be able to just flip them. That's my plan anyway.
Yep. Even Laird or Stewart, there might be like 50, 60k difference between Hoare and...
Yeah.
So if you have the trades and the money, you can do that trade. So that's those two. We can get into the questions. The first question is asked by a regular on the Discord, Murph. A favourite down at the Discord, I think.
Wouldn't say that anyway.
Okay, so who's needed more? Dunkley, Boak, or Tim Kelly? Who do you have to have out of those three?
All three, personally.
Yeah.
But that's tough. They're like really pretty much the three top forwards along with Danger. I'll say Boak still. I want to say Tim Kelly, but oh god, they're all must-haves really.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say Boak, Tim Kelly, then Dunkley if we were to rank them. What about you?
I really don't know how to rank them, to be honest. They're all so close. I think they can all go 105 to 110 in that bracket.
Yeah, I was
the
trying
rest
to
of the year.
go by like consistent what you expect. Like Boak, you probably should expect 100 every week. Kelly can go bigger, but maybe get tagged. And then Dunkley maybe lose his role, but geez, they all could probably average 110 from here.
Yep. Yeah, I guess you consider price. Get Boak and Dunkley in ASAP, and then Kelly after his bye. Probably this week, probably Boak.
Yep.
You need all three, though.
I'd say so.
Dunkley's only in... His ownership's quite low. I think it's...
Because he hit his form at 16, so it's gone up a little bit. But I think that's what it started the year at, and then it went down, and then obviously back up. But, yeah, if he keeps it up, better get him too.
So the answer to that is get Boak probably this week, and then get the other two ASAP.
Yeah.
Priorities. So BSSW asks, should I trade in Luke Parker? 620k. He has a 5-run average of 129. I didn't notice that until just before. So should he trade him in? He has the bye this week, so it's the week after. What do you think?
Does he have a low break even too, probably, because he's on a tear?
I'll have a look quickly.
It's semi-decent, 115. I mean, short answer is no, because he's 620k, and I think there's more value out there. I don't hate it, but you look at, like, say, if you don't have Sloan, you don't have Oliver, you don't have Bont, even, like, they're 100k cheaper almost, these guys. Like, you're just not going to finish your team as quickly if you're trading in blokes like him at 620k.
Played really well, though, the last month. So
crazy.
Those scores are gone anyway, so for 620k, no thank you.
Yeah, no. Answer's no.
So Supercoach Deji asks, this is a pathetic question by Deji, he's better than this. Is Mark Pitnet to Rob a downgrade option? He's a 230k rock.
Well, there's a question and then there's the answer straight after it.
No, Deji. No, Deji, come on, mate.
I reckon he's trolling.
He's trolling us. Come on, mate. Okay, Kiara Dawkins asks, that can't be a woman asking that question.
Is that a girl? No, not a single girl watches your videos.
No, it's 100% male. In the YouTube analytics, something's not right here.
Another fake account.
Well, anyway, probably, but thanks for the question regardless. Thinking of bringing in one Connor Blakely for a risk. Thoughts? What do you think?
He's interesting. I'll be honest, I haven't watched him since he's been back too much, but from what I hear, his role's pretty decent along half back, racking up the pill.
He needs to be in the midfield.
Yeah, I don't hate it, but I don't love it. So it's a no for me. If you're struggling and want a cheap pod, you're ranked, not very high up, and you want some, just a pod to try and get you back into it, you could consider him. But yeah,
it's possible he should go in the midfield eventually. It's possible this pick works out. I don't like the odds of it though. He's also an injury risk.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say I don't mind it if you're really far behind and you're looking for a bit of a desperate trade sort of thing. I wouldn't do it, no way. But
he has good history, but he just gets injured, doesn't he?
He has periods where he's just gone on a tear.
Yeah.
So it's hard to predict if he's going to do that or not. So 455k, it's a no from me. But I understand if you want to take that risk. I'd like to see him move into the midfield first because he's still playing halfback.
Yeah.
So you're just guessing basically. So I would wait till he moves back into the midfield, but I wouldn't do it. I think it's too risky for my liking, but it can work out.
Yeah.
So Kaz, he also has a YouTube channel, a bit of a troll on the Discord as well. Is it possible for Eno to get any luckier? I don't know about that.
Yes,
that was a reference to. Well, this is one thing. The thing that's annoyed me the most is Brad Crouch and Matt Crouch. I picked Matt over Brad for durability purposes.
Pick. He's averaged 97. He hasn't been amazing.
It's the durability factor, though. I didn't even know if he was going to play round one.
He's played every game.
And then this week was terrible. So you got a bit ahead of yourself, arrogant, and said, "No, I'm not vice captaining Danger. I'm not vice captaining Cripps.
Are you kidding me?
I don't have a captain option. So what do you do? We'll just go with Jake Lloyd.
That was my captain option.
Career best disposals for Jake Lloyd saved your week. Sorry.
Settle down. Yeah.
Not happy.
He's gonna go big. I knew he was gonna go massive. Just knew it.
Anyway.
But yes. Answer is I can get more luckier. Rob will get dropped because I don't have him.
No.
And no, I'm not lucky.
Yes, you are. Okay. Matt asks, thoughts on Zeeble versus Gray as an F6 pod? Thoughts on that?
Ooh, interesting. I think you can answer the Gray part, but I think you're going Gray this week, and I'd go Robbie over Zeeble. The value factor at his price is a lot better for what I see with Zeeble. Zeeble's like 470k now, so he's kind of gone up a bit. And if you don't have Daniel's 10k more than him. If you don't have, Boak's only 500k. So I like the value in Gray more to get in as a bit of a pod over Zeeble.
And Zeeble has the buy in 2 weeks.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly what I was about to say. So, what are your thoughts?
I cannot believe the disrespect to Robbie Gray.
I'm part of that.
He is a superstar box office player. I remember when he got 30 touches and 6 goals last year.
So did I, mate. That was the best last quarter ever.
So he did beat up on St Kilda last week in Beijing. Yeah. So he had the good food, unlike the St Kilda team. But this is an easy one. Robbie Gray. I don't trust Zeeble. Is he going to hold his role? I mean, it looks like it, but you never know.
Same could be said for Robbie Butt.
Yeah, that's the thing. Rockcliffe and Wine still have to come back. But even in the early stages when Drew was getting all the midfield time and Rocky was playing midfield and Boak was playing midfield and even Brad Ebert was getting a fair bit of midfield time, even though they said he was going to play forward, he was playing mid-forward. Gray in the back half of quarters was running out the quarters in the midfield.
When everyone's tired.
Yeah.
And
so I've explained this multiple times on my YouTube channel. Gray's poor scoring earlier in the year was due to injury. He had a sore knee because he had something going on in the preseason. So I'm of the belief that he's fully fit now, and for 400k, I think he's a steal. Yes, he's going to have some down games playing forward, but he will get mid-time as well. So for me, absolutely Robbie Gray. I don't trust Zeeble. I'm not sure Zeeble has ever had a consistent year in the midfield as a premium. And he has beaten up on weaker teams, Jack Zeeble. So for me, Robbie Gray.
Easily between those two. You look at Zeeble's history, it's not even that great when he's been playing midfield. Yeah. I think it's just a purple patch.
Yep. So Hazard Schroeds asks, thoughts on trading Smith, Atkins, and Baker for Naish, Bont, and Dunkley?
Okay.
So trading out Smith and Baker this week.
Don't like that. I mean,
if he has enough playing, then sure.
Of course, but geez, I can't see many having that many playing that they can trade two out that are not, that are playing this week. But if he does, then fair enough.
I think the answer there is if you have enough premiums playing this week, then sure, why not?
Yeah.
Magic Door is God asks, who has a better job security, Naish or Clark?
Whew.
I think that's Dylan Clark from
Tested,
who
I mean, we already
Chris.
know Naish is playing this week, and if Clark doesn't, then that obviously switches that around. But surely Essendon or Worsha finds a spot for Clark to stay in after what he did last week.
I think Worsfeld mentioned that they still should be able to find a spot for him, if it's tagging or not.
Yeah, just throw him on, O'Meara this week. Who have they got next week? West Coast, just throw him on,
Yo.
Yeah, exactly. It's got to be a role.
So with their job security, honestly, we couldn't tell you for sure. But looks like they're going to give Naish is playing this week. You guys get a few players back after the bye.
Cotillo and who else went out? I don't know. Naish looks
Edwards
not bad
is out.
now. Yeah. Well, it's a wait and see.
I think Vlosten's out too. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah. That's a tough call. I think it's a wait.
I prefer Naish.
Yeah.
Clark's also a bit more money.
Yep.
So Ryan Mello asks, Jezza or Gray? Jezza is Jeremy Cameron.
Yeah.
I, for me, prefer Robert. Okay, actually, this is harder than I thought. Jezza is probably more likely to score better. He's been better this year. I do worry about his shoulder because apparently he does have some sort of shoulder issue that he's been playing sore on. But then again, Gray's always something going on with him. Well, Jezza has the bye next week, so I think Gray.
Yeah, I think you can wait a week on Jezza. He didn't score great. His break-even's 106.
Looks like Finlayson's taken a fair bit of points away from him. They're using him as a target as well.
I guess it's for this guy's last F6, though, so he wouldn't get Jezza after that. Jezza has a good run, too, coming up.
Because of the bye, I think Gray.
Yeah, and a bit of value.
A bit of a tough one.
Gray.
I think Cameron will outscore Gray for the season, though. But, just buys and price and whatnot. Taranza, your mate, asks, which defenders could we bring in this week 500k and under? Besides Sicily. Also, how many premiums should we have by the end of the buys? So the first question, which defender can we bring in under 500k?
Well, we talked about Blakely before.
Can I touch on Dan Houston real quick?
Yeah.
Okay, Dan Houston in China played full-time midfield, 7 clearances. This is off the top of my head. 28 touches, 11 contested.
Pretty good.
Does he get pushed out of the midfield with Wines and Rockcliffe coming back? That's a chance, I guess.
Yeah.
Pretty congested midfield. And he scored okay in defense. I'm not trading in Dan Houston. I want to see a bit more evidence of him in the midfield, but he's been a fantastic player this year for them, for Port Adelaide.
Yeah.
So a risk, yes, and I think he's capable of scoring what a D6 should, I guess, like say low 90s.
Yeah.
But I suppose his ceiling does raise a bit if he's playing midfield, but I don't know if he holds that spot. So that's one option to look at. So
Really,
I think he
it's
wants...
Yeah, there's only JJ, sorry, as I was looking coming off the bye. That's under 500. So he's been in decent form, but it's a bit of
I
a
haven't
risky pick.
taken notice of him at all this year, to be honest.
We came in a bit late, missed the first few, and then he's sort of been picking it up lately.
94 average, that's okay.
But I think
Five an
it's,
average of 100.
yeah,
That's interesting. I haven't looked into that too much. Not sure I would do it though. Seems a little injury prone as well.
the other good ones are just Laird, Rich, and Stewart, but they all
Yeah, no
have a
good for
bye coming.
bites.
Yeah.
So next week, if you wanted to wait, Tom Stewart, I think. I
Yep.
like Stewart.
Yeah, same. After those kicking stats that Frico posted to today or yesterday.
How
Yeah,
he plays on second most in the comp, I think.
Yeah, or just in general, taking like I think he's third or fourth in the comp. You know, people thought Tui back, he might not take as many, still taking heaps. So
Yep. So honestly, I don't think there's anyone you can really bring in under 500k that you can completely trust this week.
yeah,
Besides Sicily, I guess. So how many primos should we have by the end of the buys? I think it should be anywhere between, okay, ideally 22. I don't think a lot of people are going to have that though.
no,
I think absolute minimum 20.
yeah, 21's ideal.
I think 21 is probably going to be standard though.
Yeah,
So yeah, 21 ideally.
yeah, that's what I'm aiming for.
Charles Harley. Who should I get out of Cunnington, Gaff, and Parker? So they all have. So Gaff and Parker have the bye this week, and Cunnington has a bye coming up. Just touch on Cunnington. He's been very good this year. Does he keep this up? Probably. It looks like it. But he has the bye. There's no point trading him in this week. And then Gaff and Parker both have the bye. Let's check how much Gaff is. 564. I'm going to say Gaff.
I'm warming towards Cunnington as much as I did say he's not, going to keep this up, but yeah.
If it's after the buys, Cunnington.
Yeah.
Otherwise, Gaff.
Gaff next week, yeah.
Gaff's probably more of a 107 to 109 sort of guy, but Cunnington's probably looks like 113 plus.
Yeah.
But because of the buy, so many extra points there. But yeah, Parker's too expensive. We spoke that before.
Yep.
We'll go down to Isaac Cullen. Give us some risky pods under 450k. I like this question. I have a few in mind. I'm not sure if you do.
Go.
So in defense, I spoke about Dan Houston. He's not under 550. I think he's 450. I think he's around 460, 470. Not sure I like anyone else in defense. We spoke about Johannesson quickly. So in their midfield, Angus Brayshaw is 400k.
Jesus.
And he's gone back to his role. I'm not a fan of Brayshaw. He's the butcher of all butchers of the footy. But having said that, he accumulates so much, it sort of offsets that disposal efficiency.
Oak style.
Yeah. Worse, though. I think I told you a while ago, his meters gained was 1 kilometer in one of the JLT games.
Yeah, what the hell?
Because he just boots the ball and doesn't look. Boots it forward. And then Tom McDonald, he's a shadow of what he used to be, so he doesn't get to the ball. Wiedemann doesn't convert, so...
Oh.
So I don't mind Angus Brayshaw for 400k because he's gone back to his old role that we thought he was going to play in the preseason because he did move to the wing in the early stages of the year. Does he move to his old role permanently? As in, does he play midfield at stoppages permanently? I would assume so. I'm not 100% sure, but you could do a lot worse for 400k.
Yeah.
In the forward line, I think, we've spoken about Gray. I like Gray as a F6 option. I think he should get enough midfield time to bump his score up to mid-90s.
Mm-hmm.
And also, last year when Gray was playing more midfield in the first few games, I think it was the first 6 rounds, he was averaging about 120, I think. So if somehow Gray gets a fair bit more mid-time in the first few weeks, don't be surprised if he averages 110. Although that might be a bit of a stretch, but he's capable. So anyone that you're thinking of?
I'll bring him up. I don't know if there's a question later on him, but Parrish.
No. I've always wanted to say this. Darcy Parish looks so much like one of the young twins in Everyone Loves Raymond. You guys can Google that. But yeah, just reminds me of him.
The answer's no, but just interesting. His current couple last scores.
Wasn't he dropped this year? I can't remember.
Yeah.
Round 1? I'm not sure.
Not picked, and then he's played since.
He is so inconsistent. He hasn't scored between 80 and 109. It's either below 80 or above 110.
Yeah, that's no.
I don't like it, to be honest.
Below 450, really. Besides Robbie.
Yep. So, anyone else?
Sam Walsh?
Next year, he's a lock, I think. Are you going to pick Sam Walsh next year?
No.
He is the chosen one, though.
I know, but is he 110 primo in his second year?
He could be anything.
Not picking him.
He's a superstar. You used to have him in your team, right?
Shit, yeah. I've been endorsing that all year. Keep him till he's by.
Yeah. Good call.
No, I like Bot, though.
Yeah. 140 this week, but next question, Noah Roberts, keep Brodie Smith or give up on him? Give up in the bye round.
Yeah.
And Zeeble, I don't like Zeeble. I don't trust him, but not the worst option.
Yeah.
He's capable.
Agree with that.
Declan Slater, trade in Marshall, Daniel or Dunkley?
Daniel, I think. Just for price at the moment, Dunkley a little bit expensive. Marshall, I do like Marshall, don't get me wrong. He's, good role, scores pretty well. I just think that run that the Dogs have, I think, what is it, like 8 in a row in Marvel until the last 2 games.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, Daniel.
You look at his bad scores and they're like when they went down to Geelong or whatever, or when they went down to Tassie. But the rest of all his good scores are just Marvel. So, I think I have to get him, but I don't know. So, it's, probably Daniel.
Yeah, I think, not including Price, Dunkley. Otherwise, Daniel.
Yeah.
Colby Johnson, what are some fun and interesting alternatives to war that countries could settle their differences with?
What?
We can change the world here, I think. I wish I had more time to think about this. Do you have any ideas?
What alternatives to war?
This is a serious question. Supercoach? Nah, that wouldn't settle anything.
Yeah, it would. I don't know. That's a funny question.
Yeah, interesting question. Maybe like a board game or like a video game.
We get destroyed by all the Europeans.
Yeah.
We'd be gone.
Next question. We'll move on from that. I just wanted to throw that in there. Because when we ask the Discord questions, the first 5 questions are all not serious questions.
Yeah, but that's just the Discord you've created.
That's the type of feral environment that we like. So
still join it. if you're not in it.
Yeah, bit of fun. BBBS, that stands for something inappropriate that we won't say. Order the best primos to bring in this week. Okay, that's very broad.
Right.
So this week in defense, Sicily Ryan, coin flip.
What's he got else there? Boak. If you don't have, mine's 5 because I'm probably not like many. I don't have 5, so.
You got to get 5.
Well, yeah. I actually I did it last week.
Okay.
Right for players, and then need him for this week, so I got 5 in. Merritt, I've got him, but it's been. I think I'd be top 100 if I went Kelly over Merritt a month ago. Like that's.
I think he's going to get DeBoard pretty soon.
Yeah, and then Hutchings, I think.
DeBoard, Hutchings.
Man, why did I not get Kelly? I was just.
And then he has Hewitt as well. I don't think Hewitt's tagging anymore though.
It's weird. It's occasionally.
I don't mind Bontempelli over Merritt.
Yeah, I think I don't mind that either.
Because of the Marvel Stadium factor.
Yeah.
So in the forward line, probably number one priority is Boak and Dunkley for this week. Daniel's a good option too.
Mids 5, then Bont, and then what? Yeah,
Merritt.
Defense.
Merritt has the. He's learning to deal with tags, but yeah, Fife in the midfield and Bond probably. Next question. NS Julian asks what to do with Westhoff. Keep his F7 and hope he comes good. With Dixon coming back, or trade to Dunkley and Boak. My thoughts on Westhoff. He's cooked-ish. I don't think his consistency is there anymore.
Yeah.
And he's still kind of a utility player where they just play him wherever they need him.
What is he? 360k.
He's less than Liam Baker.
Go to Robbie Gray, honestly.
Yeah.
We wouldn't want to be spending 200k to upgrade him. And I don't mind just spending like 40k straight to Robbie. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I like that. I understand that, he might come good with Dunkley, not Dunkley,
Dixon,
with Dixon coming back. But just the way he's played this year, just hasn't been good at all. He's had a few games where he's just taken a whole bunch of marks in the forward line. Other than that, he hasn't done a whole lot. So, I'm not convinced Westhoff is going to up his output all that much. So, go to Gray. But if you have the trades and money, Dunkley or Boak is fine. Probably Boak for price.
Yep.
Daniel Gadia asks, go early on Gardner or Naish, despite iffy job security, just to avoid a donut.
Easy. Gardner. Wait on Naish, has the bye to play his third. If Gardner's named, get him, because then he can play for you next week as well.
Gardner's useless, though. But you get 2 weeks out of him.
Exactly. Naish is playing this week, I get that. But you never know. Post that.
It is possible that Naish outscores Gardner in one round.
Okay, it is. It is.
I just don't see the point in Gardner. I guess he has a swing as well.
And a swing.
So that kind of helps. Yeah, I guess Gardner.
Don't know.
I like Naish.
You do. Better, so you're saying this because you traded him in his first game, so.
Yeah. He was robbed. He should have got more points.
Yeah.
He got scaled up.
I wasn't looking at the scores because I was just watching and having beers. But wasn't he on 40 at quarter time?
Something like that.
It's fucking crazy.
So probably Gardner because you get 2 rounds out of him and then you can go Naish afterwards.
Yep.
Petting Zoo, Gardner versus Bewley. Depends if Bewley gets named. So obviously you go Bewley, I would assume, if he's named. Gardner seems to have better job security though. Bewley played well. But yeah.
Just
if he gets named.
It feels like he plays well, but scores pretty average.
I think he's capable of scoring a lot better, so
yeah.
Probably Bewley, but he might get dropped, so
we'll see.
Yeah. So Paul V, I can't pronounce his last name. It's Greek and it's long. So we'll say Paul V. He asks, how important is having extra players for the bye rounds?
Pretty important.
Yeah, it is, because there's a lot of points going down the drain if you don't have enough. For me, I think you just need to take the hit sometimes. Depends how many primos. Like, it's not worth trading out a rookie, like trying to get one rookie score for 1 week.
Yeah, no.
So, I mean,
I don't
yeah,
know.
it is important. It's a bit hard to answer.
You've got to judge over the 3 rounds too. I'm sure it's been said before, by plenty of people. But, if you took the hit in the first week, you've probably been set up well for this week and you can just come straight back fine, back up the ranks if you go well this week because a lot of people will struggle. So, I don't think anyone's ever had 3 absolute gun buy rounds and then they move up in every single one. Like, you're going to at least stagnate or go down in one for sure. Like, unless you've just got some godly team that somehow avoids all, primos or something.
Or use 9 trades or something.
Yeah.
You set yourself up real well, but then you would have been hurting the weeks before.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, just figure out, just take the hit if you need to, I guess, and then go from there. Trade in players that have already had their buys and stuff.
Yep.
And he also asks, this is unrelated to the buy rounds, but should we go early on rookies? Yes.
Yeah.
I think you have to, because while it's not ideal, how else are you going to win? Are you going to not go early on rookies while everyone else is? And then they get ahead, and then you're behind on upgrades and downgrades. So you're not winning anything if you restrict yourself to not going early on rookies.
Yeah.
But obviously, if you have better options that you don't have to go on early on rookies, generally, yep.
Yeah.
Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. You can't just strictly say, no, got to be third game, got to be this, got to be that. You'll miss good rookies. I mean, they're pretty scarce this year, so you have to get the right ones.
Probably the past 5 rounds it's been a bit dry.
It's dried up, yeah.
So yes, I went early on Naish. I saw his VFL numbers. I understood that Braden Ellis could come back in, but wasn't Naish tearing up the VFL, I think?
For weeks, bro. For weeks.
Yeah. So it was always on the cards that he played well.
Yeah, been a long time coming. We just got too many of those small players. So, what are your trades for this week? We're going to them?
Yeah, we'll do trades. For me, it is going to be out Noah Bolter. Thank you for your service, Noah. In my video I said Robert Gray. I think I'm going to go with Rowan Marshall.
Oh.
Just quickly on Marshall, he just signed a 3-year deal.
Yeah,
he signed a 3-year deal. Does that mean he relaxes and takes it easy a bit? I don't know the guy, but
nah, surely not.
Because when I pass an exam, I do nothing for a week. I sit down and do nothing.
You still got work to do, man.
Yeah, it's true. Hey? I don't know. So anyway, Bolter,
to show their faith in him that they think he's clearly the number one and he's a long-term plan.
Yep. So Bolter to Marshall.
Yep.
In my midfield, I have Tom Atkins, excellent rookie.
Yeah.
To Bewley, if he gets named.
Mm-hmm.
And then, this one doesn't make any sense, but Callum Wilkie, who just had his bye, to Sicily. And the reason is because I've decided to hold Hoare at D6.
Right. And how many are you fielding then after that?
19, including corporate, else 18.
And Young?
Young is on the bench doing nothing.
He won't be at
so I can loophole him.
Okay.
I can't get both, and regardless, one of them is dropping off anyway.
Yeah. Yep. Cool.
But
All
I
right.
have only 1, 2, 3. I only have 4 primos on the bench.
Gordon Grundy, so 6.
Oh, okay, 6. My bad.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's I got
Tim
8.
Kelly, Danger, Neil, Hearn. Okay, so what are your trades?
Yeah. So initially I was going to do the 3. I was going to include Hall and whatnot, but I've done the same as you. Benched him. Just going to do the 2. Atkins, like you, out down to Bewley if named, and then I'm just going to go Ainsworth up to Ryan to get 19.
Oh, you're actually doing all right then.
Yeah, that leaves me with like 75k. I know it's not a lot, but then next week, Walsh, Baker, and whatnot can all go.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, you're going to be swimming in money after that.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think that's everything.
Yeah. Although one thing I wish I still had Rob.
Yeah. Well, I think his cash was too useful
It was, yeah.
3 rounds ago. For me, it got me Dunkley, and he's, I think,
I think
averaged
that's the same.
120, 130 or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but yeah, if you held Rob, it should be fine anyway. Thanks for joining me, Eno, as usual. A pleasure.
See you next time.
All right, and we'll see you guys next time.